Hi friends, Miss Artgren here, and today I'm going to be doing something a little outside my wheelhouse, and that is attempting to draw a landscape. So I don't normally do landscapes or villages or anything like that, so this will be a proper challenge for me. I'm going to set this background to like a light blue, and then on top of that I'll make like a background layer. Seems like something I should do. And we're gonna make like a hazy kind of field look. All right, that's a nice hazy color, why not? I have kind of a basic idea how I want this village to look. And what it is in the foreground, I want just like a hint of there being like a river or a lake here. And on top of that river, we'll have some kind of bridge thing here. And then there'll be a nice like dirt path kind of thing breaking down and getting smaller, and it'll trail off in the distance. And then we'll have some houses. And I'm not really sure what the houses, they're gonna be the hardest part for me, I think. Let's get like a color and we'll just block them in. Let's do the houses on a separate layer. I'm a little bit scared of messing them up and wanting to be able to delete them. Okay, so we'll have one house like here, and yeah, I'm not really sure on the perspective. Let's just block it in like that. We can go back later and figure it out a little bit more, and then let's get like a filler color. Okay, so house number one, and then next to it we'll have a house that's a little bit smaller behind that one. There we go, house number two, and I like that the path is going behind it. And then we'll have maybe like an archway here for the village. That might be kind of fun, huh? I immediately regret the archway. Let's have like a two-story house on this side. Let's give it like an entryway. This will be the second story, and you'll be able to see back here the doorway in. It's a bit hard to read, isn't it? It's kind of making sense in my head. You have like support beams here, and maybe they go down like this, and then the filler of the house would be here. Well, let's give like a little extra peek here. Maybe this would stick out a little bit actually. So it's like this. So that's this house over here. We could have like a little smaller barn area here, like a shed or something. And let's have like a hill area over here where you have like some steps going up to another house. We'll have like a little house in front of it. This house took over the hill. I don't know what I did there. We'll redo it. We'll redo it. Start with the house, and then the hill area will go in front of it. Like there's steps going up here. And then there'll be another house visible back here. Just in the background here, we'll have one last building. Okay, so we have that. We have the background layer. Let's add some trees. So I'm just gonna do the same kind of thing where I sketch it in. Let's put a tree between these two houses here. There we go. And we'll have a couple trees here in the background. And in the very, very back, put some mountains. Let's add some shadows too, so we just kind of remember these are mountains and not strange things back there. Something like that. That one directional lighting kind of stuff. So there is my sketch. It looks kind of messy, but it gives me an idea, I suppose. And now I guess I'm going to start detailing out everything and start sketching it in for realsies. Okay, let's pick a lighter color for the like bright areas where the sun is catching. And then over here, just a little bit darker. Down here will be the darker area. I did not angle these out very well. Let's fix this angle. Probably should use perspective lines. You know, I never learned to do it. Is that sad? I have an art education, but when you get an art education at a general college, you don't actually learn how to do art. You just learn about art as a concept. I'm going to do the outline, and then I'm going to get rid of I'm going to erase it from the sketch layer so I don't get confused. Whoa, I don't want that big of an eraser. Is this like a weird way of doing it? Probably. Let's just fill this in with that neutral color. I might have some cracks showing, but I don't think you would see the water. I think you would just see the edges of the wood planks. Let's put in a few lines here where the planks might be. This will be a little bit weather worn, especially being over water. And we'll go in and do a little bit of detail. Actually, the light would be hitting here. So let's give you an edge like that. Makes sense to me. Okay, I want some light on the very edges here, and then underneath it you can just see like there's a groove in here that's taking some shadow. Let's get a little bit of a lighter color to kind of really designate where we're gonna put that edges and stuff in. Yeah, for the bridge, that's the start of it. I'm going to put in the bank. So let's get this here. Then we want it darker where the water is going to be up against it. I'm gonna have to take this away real quick. I'm gonna want a real light color in between, like where the light catches right on the brink of the embankment. I'm actually going to steal the blue I used from here. It was a good enough blue. Pop that in. Like a darker color right up in there. Get a little bit of blue over that so you know it's under the water. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, so there's where our river's gonna be. Now, what else do we have here? Our path. Just get kind of like a worn dirt look. So let's put that in like that. Probably should have worked on getting like the green grassy fields. Let's do that first, actually. Pick a nice green. We'll get a brighter green. Splash that in a couple places. Let's get a yellow. And then we'll finish it off by getting more of a brown. They don't have sprinklers. The grass is not going to be that green. I wanted to get that grass in before I detailed this pathway. So let's get kind of a reddish, orangish color. Let's pick up like a gray brown too. And I'm just going to splotch this in a little bit, especially in like the gutter area. And then over here will be the lighter side. I'm a little bit worried it's a little bit too similar to this wood here. I'll tweak it like a little bit. Now that sticks out a little better. Going back to the path, let's add a few areas where there might be like a stone. Okay, I think it's starting to come along a little bit. So let's tackle this house. So let's box shape it in first. Oh, am I doing this right on the same layer? I don't want to do this on the same layer. Maybe like a red roof. I don't think this is how normal people draw houses. I was gonna have this be like pillars almost. So we'll have it go like this, and then it'll be catching the light on one side. And the same thing here, with the light being caught on this side. This is definitely not how you're supposed to box out a house. Everyone send me their favorite building, how to draw building tutorials. This will be like an indoor area, but then this will still be the side of the building here. So one of the support beams will go here, like so. One here, and then one that goes across here. One that goes down, 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 and then one that goes like that. You know, that kind of style. I think you can kind of see the shape I'm going for. Maybe these support beams should have been lighter in color. Dull it down. It's a boring, dull village. So there's our house based out. Okay, through the magic of time skips, I've blocked out the colors for all of the houses. The reason why I'm like blocking these out in colors, even if I'm not drawing it very precisely, because that's like the technique I use when I do digital painting of faces. All our trees have been kind of ignored. I'm going to just start over with a new layer, and I'm actually going to make a new brush for these leaves. I think it'd be fun if I just try a new brush. I'll make some leaf shapes. I'm gonna go with that. Why not? Let's see how this looks. Like right now it looks weird. So I'll have to adjust the brush settings. But before we actually do the leaves, let's get the base of the trunk. I want this to be between these two layers. So we'll have it kind of go out, curve up, and then we'll branch it out like this. All right, that'll be good enough. We'll do a little bit of shading. So on this side, since all our houses seem to be like the lights coming from the west, I guess, we'll have the same kind of deal with the tree. And then we'll get a lighter color. And since it's a rounded object, it'll have a little bit of edge lighting at the back there. Tree front leaves. I never work in so many layers. So let's go back to that brush I made, this one here. And we're gonna go into brush settings. So I'm gonna put the spacing a little bit more out. Go to size jitter a little bit. Just a tiny bit of angle jitter. Just a tiny bit of roundness jitter. Let's get a green color and let's see how this is looking so far. Test it as we go. Yeah, that's looking okay. And then I'm gonna go to color dynamics, bring up the foreground background color, and then we can control those and get rid of all this stuff. Let me see. I think I might want the spacing a little bit more. Let's try it out. Let's put some dark basey colors. So now let's go with a lighter color and put it over sort of the tops. Put a few of these highlights in. That'll be kind of what our trees look like. What I might want to do is put like an extra branch down here so I could have like a little bit of a leaf here. Yeah, that might be a little better. I don't know. Okay, so I've been working on this and I don't feel like I've gotten a lot done. It's almost like arresting how not having confidence is. But one thing I noticed when I was working on this building over here is that it's really out of proportion. So let me show you what I mean. Say this was the perspective for these, you can't match them up. These bottom two legs. Also, this width is significantly thicker than this width. And then this is another problem. It does not match up. This front of the house matches up with this one. So if this being on the same plane, this part should match up with this one. As you can see, it's really far off. Now I get to edit this building. I'm gonna fix one thing in the liquify. This base here should go up, and then I think the peak needs to come up here. So I'm just gonna bring that up a bit. So I'm going to select the area that I want to be moved down. It's weird editing like buildings. It's really weird. I suppose that's why some people probably meticulously use guidelines and stuff to begin with. Okay, well that was it. I'll just jump ahead and come back once I've detailed these buildings. Okay, so jump in the future again. I'm going to now add some more trees, work on this tree over here. It looks like it cuts off here, which I don't want. I want it to look like it's continuing up. Yeah, so this tree's gonna have to match sort of this one's vibrancy, I suppose is the word. These ones, they won't be as dark to light as these because they're the background. You kind of lose that. I want to add some bushes. I wish I could work on less layers. I think if I had more confidence in myself, I would. I'm going to pick another brush just so it doesn't end up the same. Let's do this one. I like this one. And we'll get some bushes here. All right, so there's some bushes. This place is in need of some directional light. So I'm going to select overlay and maybe like 20-ish%. Since the light is coming from the right, I'm gonna add a little bit of lighting to sides of the houses, a little bit. Yeah, everyone has a black door because I was worried if I tried to detail doors I'd mess it up. So if anyone was wondering about that, that's the story. Okay, so we have some brighter lighting there, and then we're gonna go on the opposite side. I'm gonna make these clipping masks so I don't just brush over other things. I'm gonna add a little bit of darkness, so this will help put things in a little more shade. It'll just add a little something something. Let's do the leaves too. Way under here, maybe above the bridge layer, I'll do house shadows. I don't know what the houses would cast. Like, I think around here it'd be pretty dark in the shape of the building. Each one of these trees would be casting a lot of shadows. Let's do the water. So for rivers, I tend to make my brush like this. I don't know why, but I always think this looks better like that. I don't know. I think it looks a little better if the brush is at that angle. Let's take a nicer blue. Now let's go to color dodge. We're gonna go in with white and we're gonna add a little bit of a reflection there. I'm gonna go in and add a layer that reflects the house like underneath the water there, and you would just barely see it underneath. This is definitely taking longer than I thought it would, but I'm having fun and I'm learning a lot of my weaknesses. Okay, so here it is. I'm calling it here. I guess I feel like I don't really have anything else that I feel that I can do. It's almost like I'm kind of stuck at my current level. So my goal is, other than just to kind of help myself realize what I need to work on, it was also just to kind of have something set for like a future milestone that I can look back. Yeah, anyways, thank you for joining me on this strange personal challenge. After doing some studies, I'll come back to this in maybe 6 months and see where I am at drawing villages and stuff. I'd say buildings are a pretty big weakness of mine because when I do illustrative work, I'm very particular about making it quick with the pen tool. It all looks very clean and clear. But with my digital paintings, I'm very organic and loose, and I liquify tool and warp like crazy. And when it comes to buildings, you have to have, I think, a mix that I've never breached before. So hopefully I will learn my own style. It's kind of important. I think everyone learns what works for them. Anyways, just personal thoughts. So thank you for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.